Hallo und herzlich willkommen bei Whisky.de, dem Treffpunkt feiner Geister. Und heute bin ich mal bei einer Brennerei, die der Öffentlichkeit nicht zugänglich ist. Relativ praktisch für jeden da draußen, denn ja, Touristen können Tamdhu nicht besuchen. Es gibt kein Visitor Center. Die Leute bei der Brennerei, ich habe mich mit ihnen unterhalten, sagen, ja, Tamdhu ist nicht so hübsch, da kann man keine Touristen durch reinlassen. Finde ich eigentlich nicht. Ich finde es eine relativ hübsche Brennerei. Aber ja, wie gesagt, kein Visitor Center. Tamdhu wurde 1897 gegründet, ja, so das viktorianische Zeitalter. Und ja, damals war es im Grunde ein Hightech-Startup. Und man hat ja sehr neues Equipment eingesetzt und sehr moderne neue Gebäude gebaut. Heutzutage sieht das natürlich alles ganz alt aus, aber damals war das noch neu. Ja. 1940ern hat die Brennerei dann irgendwann angefangen, eine Melzerei, auch ein Melzerei-Business zu betreiben. Das heißt, sie haben diese neuen Saladin-Boxes aufgestellt. Das sind große Container, wo dann mit dem Rührwerk das Malz umgehebelt wird und Luft runtergebracht wird, damit es nicht gammelt und sehr schön gemälzt wird. Damals eine revolutionäre Technik und hat dann den ganzen Malzboden, die ganze Malzbodentechnik, die vorher vorgeherrscht hat, ganz umgekrempelt, und so hat Tamdhu damals schon irgendwann 15.000 Tonnen Malz pro Jahr produziert. Ja, da gibt es auch noch die ganz alten Fotos vom Horst, der war damals schon da. 2010 wurde dann die ganze Geschichte mit den Saladin Boxes eingestellt und auch das Gebäude wurde abgerissen. Ja, was noch so zwischendrin passiert ist, damals war die Brennerei mit 2 Brennblasen unterwegs. Irgendwann in den 70ern hat die Brennerei dann angefangen, nochmal 2 zu installieren. Dann 2 Jahre später nochmal 2 Brennblasen, und das immer in Paaren, immer gleich groß. Und jetzt hat die Brennerei dann 6 Brennblasen, aber das schauen wir uns dann später nochmal an. Ja, folgt mir heute und wir werden sehen, warum Tamdhu so einen klasse Whisky macht. Am Anfang der Whiskyproduktion, wie auch bei allen anderen, steht bei Tamdhu natürlich die Zutatenliste. Ja. Und besonders interessant schauen wir hier natürlich drauf: Wasser und Malz. Das Wasser kommt bei Tamdhu aus der Tamdhu Springs. Die Tamdhu Springs ist vor Ort in einem der Gebäude, gibt es einen Schacht hinunter und dann nochmal einen Schacht hinunter, und schon lange Jahre war da keiner unten. Denn sie haben die Tamdhu Springs schon mal ein bisschen ausgelotet und sie trägt extrem viel Wasser, gutes Wasser und ist wartungsfrei. Die Tamdhu Springs gibt es schon seit 120 Jahren. Natürlich wurde mal das ganze System der Pumpen und alles etwas renoviert und wieder erneuert. Aber im Grunde ist die Tamdhu Springs immer noch genauso wie vor 120 Jahren. Die andere Zutat, das Malz. Da hat 2018 die Brennerei neue Malzsilos aufgestellt, einen neuen Malzförderer. Aber die alte Malzmühle ist immer noch die gleiche geblieben. Und dann kommen wir zu einer ganz Besonderheit bei Tamdhu, denn Tamdhu ist ein getorfter Whisky. Wenn jetzt alle schreien, oh, das stimmt gar nicht, ich habe da noch nie irgendein Stückchen Torf drin geschmeckt. Das liegt daran, dass sie 2 ppb haben, also Parts per Billion. Also nicht Millionen, sondern Billion, also 1 Milliarde. Das heißt, sie haben da im Grunde nur 2, 3 Körnchen auf die Tonne reingeworfen, die dann eine ganz zarte Rauchnote drin haben. Also die ist infinitesimal klein. Im Grunde spricht man schon von einem nicht torfgeräucherten Whisky. Aber Tamdhu ist stolz darauf, 2 Parts pro Milliarde. Die Malzmühle ist extrem groß, viel zu groß für das, was Tamdhu brauchen würde. Denn es liegt nämlich daran, sie haben früher mit ihren Maltings, haben sie auch sogar den fertigen Schrot verkauft. Das heißt, hier gibt es dann einen Kran und auch noch eine besondere Tür nach außen. Da konnte man säckeweise den Schrot bei Tamdhu kaufen. Die Malzmühle ist eine Proteus-Malzmühle und 4 Rollen, mit denen man hier an den Hebeln und den Drehern sehr schön einstellen kann, wie nah und wie genau es gemahlen werden muss. Und das Interessante daran ist, wenn man das einstellt, kann man sehr schön einstellen, was man für ein Mash bekommt, was dann sehr wichtig wird in der Fermentation. Aber mehr dazu in der nächsten Szene. Hinter mir steht die neue Mash-Tun. Ja, neu. 72 ist die neue Mash-Tun gebaut worden. Das heißt, ja, sie ist doch schon etwas älter. Das ist eine relativ große Mash-Tun, rostfreier Stahl, ein durchgehender Rechen, Semi-Lauter. Und hier werden in 3 Waschgängen ca. 53.000 Liter Wort produziert. Wobei diese 53.000 aus den ersten 2 Waschgängen kommen und der dritte wieder mal ein Recyclinggang ist. Das Besondere ist hier, wir haben einen Wärmetauscher nach der Mash-Tun und dieser Wärmetauscher entnimmt dem Wort die Energie, die Temperatur. Aber die Temperatur wird hier nicht einfach irgendwo rausgeblasen, sondern es ist ein neuer Wärmetauscher, ein Gegenstrom-Wärmetauscher, wo man dann auch noch eine andere Flüssigkeit erhitzen kann und somit ein bisschen die ganze Sache effizienter machen kann und auch umweltfreundlicher. Ja, reden wir mal ein bisschen über die Besonderheit an diesem Wort. Die Besonderheit bei Tamdhu ist, dass sie schauen, dass extrem wenig Stückchen im Wort drin sind, was die Schotten dann Clear Wort nennen. Darauf sind sie besonders stolz und es hat dann verschiedene Einflüsse auf die Fermentation. Wir haben hölzerne Washbags, ja, sehr traditionell. 9 Stück sind es an der Zahl und sie sind extrem groß. Aber die Brennerei befüllt sie nur bis 53.500 Litern. Das liegt daran, dass sie eben dieses Clear Wort haben. Und das Clear Wort, das hat gewisse Auswirkungen. Einerseits auf den Geschmack, andererseits blubbert es sehr stark. Das heißt, wir haben eine extrem große Schaumproduktion. Wir brauchen diese Blades sehr viel und die Brennerei muss wirklich schauen, dass die Dinger hier nicht überlaufen. Ja, der positive Effekt ist natürlich, dass wir ein extrem fruchtiges Bier bekommen, also ein extrem fruchtiges Wash. Und das ist genau das, was Tamdhu haben will, diesen richtig fruchtigen Geschmack für ihren Rohbrand. Wenn man über Hefe redet, die Brennerei hat gerade gewechselt auf eine flüssige Hefe, weil die flüssige Hefe viel konstanter, viel kontrollierbarer ist und man ein sehr schön regulierbares Produkt bekommt. Ja, am Ende haben wir so circa 8–9% und dann geht's los in die Brennblasen. Das hier ist das Herzstück der Brennerei. Hinter mir ist die Low Wine Still Nummer 1 und dort hinten die schön polierte ist die Wash Still Nummer 1. Die Nummer 1 Stills sind die alten Stills. Das sind jetzt nicht die Stills von 1897, aber genau an dieser Ort und Stelle sind auch wirklich die Stills gestanden, als die Brennerei gegründet wurde. Hinter euch sind dann die Stills Number 2, das gleiche Paar, die dann 72 gebaut wurden. Und ganz hinten haben wir nochmal ein paar Stills, die wurden dann 74 gebaut. Es wurden sogar noch weitere Stills geplant hinter der Mauer, die aber nie realisiert wurden. Wenn man hier ein bisschen sich umschaut, sieht man, ja, die Kondensatoren sind außerhalb des Gebäudes und sind ganz normale Shell-and-Tube-Kondensatoren. Ja, und wenn wir jetzt mal uns die Low Wine Still hier mal anschauen, diese Low Wine Still wurde repariert. Hier sieht man eine Schweißnaht und dieses Blech hier wurde ersetzt. Denn das Blech an dieser Seite ist ja eins der meist bearbeiteten, meist beanspruchten Teile der Brennblase. Die Brennblase hier, die Low Wine Still, also die Spirit Still, hat 18.600 Liter Volumen, aber das ist das gesamte Volumen. Sie wird maximal bis irgendwo hier oder so aufgefüllt und an der Stelle fängt das Ganze dann an zu kochen und ja, durch diese Bewegung und die Hitze und den Druck wird natürlich irgendwann das Kupfer aufgerieben und die Still wird immer dünner. Und ja, wenn sie dann zu dünn ist, wird es irgendwann gefährlich, weil ja, durch den Druck innerhalb der Brennblase würde es irgendwann platzen, bersten und wir hätten ein großes Desaster. Deswegen wurde hier der Rand der Still auch rausgeschweißt, rausgenommen und dann wieder ersetzt. Die Wash Still ist etwas größer als die Low Wine Still mit 22.500 Litern Volumen und jede Wash Still muss zweimal laufen, damit die Low Wine Still einmal laufen kann. Die Geschwindigkeit ist relativ hoch, obwohl man bei Tamdhu doch auf ein nicht ganz so würzigen, eher weicheren Whisky setzt. Man kann es natürlich durch andere Faktoren auch noch beeinflussen. Und man sieht hier schon ein bisschen Dampf unterwegs. Wir sind gerade nicht am Brennen, das hört man auch, es läuft nicht, sondern es wird gerade gereinigt. Wo genau die Cut-Off-Punkte sind bei der Tamdhu Brennerei, das wurde mir leider nicht verraten. Was die Brennerei sonst macht, ist, sie reduziert ihren Rohbrand, der irgendwo bei 73 rauskommen wird, reduziert sie ihn auf 63,5% und dann geht's Richtung Warehouse. Ich befinde mich in einem der Dunnage Warehouses von Tamdhu. Ja, Tamdhu hat eine ganze Menge Warehouses. 20 Warehouses an der Zahl und sie haben 67.000 Fässer zurzeit on-site. Und sie wollen bis Ende 2019 auch noch weitere 8 Warehouses bauen, dass sie irgendwo am Ende bei 27, 28 Warehouses rauskommen, wurde mir jetzt erzählt. Warum haben die so viele Lagerhäuser, obwohl sie gar nicht so viel Whisky verkaufen? Das liegt daran, dass die Tamdhu Brennerei auch noch ein Geschäft hat im Lagern und Abfüllen. Und ja, das heißt, es kommen verschiedene andere Brennereien, die dann hier Fässer einlagern, sogar Spirit in Fässer abfüllen lassen. Und das reicht von Grain-Brennereien zu verschiedenen Blends. Viele kommen natürlich davon von Ian MacLeod, der Muttergesellschaft von der Tamdhu Brennerei. Und ja, deswegen hat die Brennerei so viele Lagerhäuser. Und die Lagerhäuser reichen von diesen tollen alten Dunnage-Lagerhäusern, wie man es hier sieht, für den guten Tamdhu Single Malt, der 20% ausmacht, gehen aber auch hin zu Racked Warehouses, also in Gestellen, bis hin sogar noch zu palettierten Fässern, die dann für den Grain eher da sind. Ja, was die Brennerei noch machen will, sie will diesen Winter sogar noch eine Cooperage bauen, also eine Fassaufbereitung, dass sie die Fässer, die sie bekommen und auf der Welt zusammenkaufen, auch noch reparieren können und wiederherstellen können, sodass sie dann besser ihren Whisky drin lagern können. Das Fassmanagement und das Holzmanagement hier bei Tamdhu wird richtig groß geschrieben. Man sieht zwar im Hintergrund überall ein paar kleinere Fässer teilweise auch, also Hogsheads und Bourbonfässer, aber der Tamdhu Single Malt Whisky wird immer vollständig in Sherryfässern gelagert. Das können jetzt europäische Eiche, das kann Weicheisig sein aus Amerika, das können verschiedene Sherrys sein. Zurzeit jedoch beschränken sie sich auf Oloroso. Früher kann das andere gewesen sein, da sind sie sich nicht ganz sicher, aber sie machen jetzt nur noch Oloroso Sherry-Fassreifung und das vollständig. Das ist so eins dieser Qualitätsstandard-Dinge, die sie sich hier bei Tamdhu auf die Fahne schreiben und außerdem sagen sie, da wir nur gutes Holz und Sherryfässer nutzen, brauchen wir auch gar keine Farbe, die wir hinzufügen. Also sind alle Tamdhu Single Malt sind immer von natürlicher Farbe. Und ja, es gibt immer wieder Leute, die hier vorbeikommen und sehen, da stehen ein paar Bourbonfässer rum, das stimmt doch wohl nicht, was nicht. Ja, die tun da Bourbonfässer rein. Nein, das sind alles für die Blend- und Grain-Whiskys. Tamdhu wird immer in Sherryfässern abgefüllt. Ja, und jetzt sehen wir uns mal ein bisschen die Produkte genauer an und ich werde noch ein kleines Interview machen und ja, da werde ich noch mal ein paar Whiskys probieren. Ja, das war's jetzt mit der Produktion und jetzt gibt es noch mal ein kleines Interview. So, I'm sitting here with Sandy McIntyre. You've been in the business for 12 years now and 4 years at Tamdhu. Thank you very much for having us here.
It's a great pleasure having people visit Tamdhu.
Yeah, what are we having today?
We've got 3 different drinks for us to share. Mm-hmm. We've got a Tamdhu New Make Spirit, straight from the stills, so effectively cleric, as we would call it as well. Mm-hmm. So it's 69.7%, so it's before it's been reduced for cask filling. Mm-hmm. We've got a Tamdhu 10-year-old. We know that we're moving in Europe and the rest of the world across to Tamdhu 12. Unfortunately, we don't have any of that stock here because we can't actually bring it up to the site here because we haven't paid duty on some of that.
Okay.
And then we've got Tamdhu Batch 3, which is a non-aged, one of our releases, which is an annual
One of
release.
the cask strength whiskies, right?
We call it batch strength. So it is a cask. It is effectively like a cask strength. However, we have actually manipulated that strength. So we've actually reduced the strength of that spirit down to a filling strength that we wanted to fill at. So it's not the cask. It's not the liquid that's come from the cask. We have actually reduced the strength down.
But it's still, what is it? 58.3 is
58.3. Yeah, so it's still a chunky whiskey. Yeah,
still a heavy whiskey.
well, yeah, by far.
So I'm really excited about your new make. So what are we expecting?
Tamdhu, famously fruity. So let's get tore into it. We produce a very light character. It's very fruity. It's very bright. It's bursting to get out a bottle at you. It's bursting to get out the glass.
Oh
Yeah. yeah. I'm pleased you did that without even any reaction. So it's actually still very soft on the palate as well. But in the glass here, some hints of vanilla, some pear, some apple.
a lot of pear.
Yeah.
A lot of apple.
Yeah.
But it's a bit of a. Usually you get a bit of more of a green apple. This is a more of a red apple.
Yeah,
a bit of one of these flowery ones, a bit of the drier ones.
It's
not
the
quite
hint of vanilla that
yet,
I
but
get as well.
it's very, very ripe. And that hint of vanilla in the very back.
Yeah.
But it's kind of a vanilla that reminds you of baking cookies or something like that.
There's a slight sweetness to it as well. But have a taste of it. And what I do when people have a taste of Tamdhu New Make is I actually more watch their faces. Any other distillery that I've worked at, when you taste the New Make, you tend to watch the person and they kind of cringe as if, oh, that was a painful experience. But when people drink Tamdhu New Make, they actually enjoy it. It sounds a strange thing to say, because it's not too fiery on the back of the tongue and the throat. So have a wee taste of this and let's see what you think. I mean, 69.7. So it's strong stuff.
Strong stuff. Ooh. Very sweet.
It's actually still quite smooth though. I mean,
it's smooth, yeah.
You don't get this fiery intensity coming back up your throat into the mouth.
Fruity, oily one, but very light, definitely. But strangely, it's a bit oily and even a bit creamy. But it's really light and fruity, though.
Well, we have people asking us, can we buy this? We would like to use this as like a base for cocktails, like a schnapps, like a.
Yeah, I always find that amazing. That if you'd give me that straight in a blind tasting, I would go like, yeah, that's maybe a pear schnapps.
Yes, exactly that. Yeah, because it's got that kind of that fruitiness to it anyway. So, but I love the way it just kind of bursts out the glass and bursts out the bottle at you.
Wow,
it's a fantastic new make, and it's a great base starting point for us to work with the sherry casks that we've got at Tamdhu. We exclusively mature in sherry casks here. So that fruitiness with the fruit from the sherry really works well in the cask and develops into the fantastic whiskies we've got.
I really like, as you told me and as I've told everybody, the one with the clear mash and all the stuff you look out for, that you get that fruity character. Really nice.
Production wise for us, it's very important. We get clear wort. That really manifests itself in the washbacks, as you saw today. I'm sure they were near coming out the top of you. Yeah,
really bubbly.
You get quite kind of vigorous at times, and that really leads into us working the stills the way we do as well. It's not a very fast distillation, still not the slowest by far, but we're not rattling the stuff through the still, so we're getting this good copper contact, which allows us again to produce this light, fruity new make spirit, which again, as I say, we take through to the cask.
So I've seen a few signs and a few staves where it says Tamdhu, the can-do spirit. Why is that? What does that mean?
Well, we're a family-owned company. We've got a great team here. There's a team of 17 of us here at the site. A lot of us actually stay on site. Yeah, it's magic. It means that you can walk home at the end of the day after you've had a few of these. It makes it much easier.
Well, that makes it really much easier to be a distiller who can taste the product and actually not violate the law in driving home.
You're perfectly right. And I stay at the other side of the warehouse, so it's fantastic for that. But one of the things that we've got is some autonomy at the site. We are, or certainly I am involved. It is my name that goes on the bottle. We have a master blender down at our head office in Broxburn. But when you see my signature on the packaging or on the bottle, unfortunately, the buck does rest with me with it. So it is me effectively authorising that. And if it means for things like the batch strength that we have here, that the master blender has to prepare a number of blends before I'm happy with it, then that's what happens. So we get on with things, we get on with the job. We know the quality of the spirit we've got in the bottle, we know the team, we know the packaging we've got, we've revised that this year, so that people can see the quality of the liquid and the colour. It's all natural colour. I love the fact that in Germany, you guys, and I just wish the whole industry would adopt it, that if there is caramel added to the liquid, that has to be put on the bottle or on the packaging.
Unfortunately, if there's nothing in it, you don't write natural color in it. I think you're allowed to.
Right.
I think you're allowed to. I think there's natural color on the bottles in Germany, but it's not like mandatory.
I mean, I can completely understand why.
Definitely.
Certainly, companies are adding colour are adding caramel for the colour and to get consistency across the products. However, we don't need to do that at Tamdhu. What you see in the bottle has only been in a sherry cask and is only natural colour. The colour in our liquid is coming straight from the cask.
Okay, so
let's
try the 10 one.
Let's get tore in.
Oh yeah.
I love that noise for a start. Just the cork from a bottle. Just
I love the cork noise, but I also love the noise when you have a full bottle and you start pouring to go glug, 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 glug. Yeah, that's what I really love.
This is Tamdhu 10 at 43. This is what used to be the standard core range in Europe and the rest of the world. So 43%, I think it's a fantastic dram. In comparison to what we had in the UK as the Tamdhu 10 at 40, the 43 far surpasses it.
Oh, you can already smell it from that distance.
Yeah, it's just
very faint and
this is a mix of European and American oak casks and a mix of first fill and refill sherries.
Oh, it's darker and more dried fruity and more sherry tones than I expected.
It surprises you, the complexity even for a 10-year-old whiskey.
So this is the 10-year-old. This is the full bottle, and this is just
So you can see that we enjoy it.
Definitely. But if you look at that little bit there, then I would have expected a much more lighter.
Yeah, from the colour from the bottom, but when you actually see the colour in the full bottle,
then you realise
a bit richer, isn't it?
Oh yeah, that's the richness.
Wee bit of butterscotch and vanilla fudge is the way I get it.
There's more vanilla and caramel in it or butterscotch in it than I expected.
Which is probably more so coming from the American oak. It's got to be.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Rather than the European.
I would have because you don't use any bourbon casks. I would have expected much less.
No bourbon in there at all.
It's very sweet, but there's a huge amount of fruit in it, and that nice sherry. Yeah. It's just that's definitely
enjoy.
Nice sherry. Enjoy.
Cheers, Slunge.
Slunge.
It is an exceptionally easy whiskey to drink. You're still hanging on to it. I just enjoy it so much.
Yeah. Again, a little bit of oiliness, but it's much more liquid. And sweetness, fruits.
It's rich, isn't it? It's actually
honey,
quite rich.
Butterscotch, vanilla.
There's a wee bit of ripe banana in it as well. I get from time to time.
Yeah, it's this ripe fruit, but also banana. What is that? Very ripe apple.
I was going to say a wee bit of apricot even at the back end. Yeah. I'll come down with another sip.
But as you said, it's really an easy one.
It's a bottle of whiskey that you pick up in an evening during the day, and before you know it, you're with friends, you're having good fun, you're talking, you're another one, and before you know it, you're again back at the bottle.
It's definitely an everyday dram.
Oh, definitely.
Definitely an everyday dram.
The term that I use for it is a session whiskey.
A session whiskey.
Session whiskey. So you're having a session. A good Glaswegian Scottish word is that you're having a session. So in other words, you know, it's basically pulling the cork, throwing the cork away. We're going to bed tonight, you know what I mean? We're having a sesh with it. We're going to enjoy it. We're going to have good crack and good chat amongst us.
Okay, so we're now in 2018 and you have been closed in 2010 to 2012.
Yeah.
Will we gonna run in the shortage of the 10 and 12-year-old in 2020, 2022?
Well, the simple answer to that is no. And I'll explain why. We are pulling the 10-year-old. The 10-year-old will no longer be available probably from the middle of next year. So that immediately removes the issue around the 10-year-old. When we bought the distillery back in 2011, 2012, we bought some of the stock here at Tamdhu. So it has very much been a piece of stock management over the last few years, and that's why we haven't had many expressions to give you. As a distillery manager, you sit here very impatient. I want a 12, I want a 15, I want a 21. And you just can't wait. It is very much, we have had to manage the stock that we purchased, and we've actually obviously been laying down stock since. So when we do come to, yes, the 2020s, the 2022s, 2024s, it will be older stock you'll get in the bottle, but it'll still be labelled as a 12 or a 15.
Ah, okay. Interesting.
So we will still manage to supply, but it'll be slightly older stock. So there won't be a gap in that.
Okay. So how about the portfolio, the different expressions? Will we see new ones on the market? How will the portfolio expand?
It definitely will. One of the things that again, because we've had to manage the stock over the last few years, that's why we haven't done much in terms of the expansion of the range. It's why it's only now that you're starting to see a 12. We will have a 15 probably by April or May next year. So 2019 for that. We will hopefully by the end of 2019 also have we sampled a 16-year-old cask yesterday, and it was phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Whether we go with an 18 and wait for an 18-year-old at the back end of next year, or I actually think we could take something a wee bit earlier, so this is my view on it, which is maybe a bold statement to make, because Tamdhu at 16 or 17 will be a cracker of dram, and I'm just wondering whether that's the right age. Is our pièce de résistance is around that age rather than even waiting until an 18.
Okay, so it's still a bit vague what will come out during the next years, but we definitely will see something.
Definitely we'll see, say, the 15 start of our sort of first quarter of 2019. We will also be doing the second release in our Dalby Alley dram, which is one of our non-aged statement of whiskies. We do that for the Speyside Whisky Festival at the start of May every year. It was extremely successful in Dalby Alley 1. In fact, it's in for one of the awards for the Speyside Whisky Festival. It's one of the finalists for next year. We'll have the next release in our batch strength, again a non-aged whisky. Be batch strength 4. We've started to do a wee bit of work for that already. And we'll see some other single casks coming along. We did a single cask in 2018 as part of a celebration for our 120th year. And I'm putting myself out on a limb. It was the team here at Tamdhu that selected that cask, and it was the majority of the team that selected the cask. I'll be honest and say it wasn't the one that I chose. So the one that was released in 2015 was a European oak butt. Really deep and chunky whiskey. Something that you would maybe have 1 or 2 drams for and put the bottle away and come back to another time.
So very expensive, complex.
Just a very complex in terms of the taste and the palate. It knows fantastically well, but my preference tends to be more around the American oak that we work with.
Okay.
So there may very well be a release of the distillery manager selection next year, which really puts me out on a limb, because it's then, well, this is the one you've chosen, Sandy, so I'm sure there'll be a lot of people who'll compare the two, the team's choice and the manager's choice, so it could be an interesting thing to see what happens with that.
Yeah, it's going to be probably a discussion on a very high level.
Yeah.
So, but we already have the batch 3.
We do, yeah, this is it here. This is the third in the release of the Batch Strength series. Batch Strength 2 did extremely well in terms of awards that it won, really globally, but the one that we were most proud of was again the Speyside Whisky Festival in 2017. Batch Strength 3 came along. Again, we did an awful lot of work. What our master blender John prepares these, sends them up to us. If we're not happy with it, I'm sorry, John, you're going to have to do another one, and he'll send up another one to us. So we have a safe here in the office that's full of all the different samples until we get the one that we're happy with. And what we're looking for when we're doing that is ensuring it's as good as, if not better, than the release before. So it's getting harder and harder and harder for John to do this piece of work. But here we are with Batch 3. It's 58.3, so it's again higher strength. So it's not, as I said, a cask strength, but it's up there with a high strength. So, and
this is much more cake,
much more sultana, Christmas cake, much more of the sultanas and the raisins coming through this time. Much more of the influence from
malt.
Yeah, from the European side of the cask that we're using.
Oh, the raisins are deeper in. If you're further away, you get more of the sweetness.
If you get the nose right into the glass, honey, that's where you pick that.
And if you get in, you get the sultana, the raisins.
To me, it's a bit more toffee rather than the light fudge that you're getting with the 10.
Yeah, the toffee is a bit further away, but nice drum.
This is an interesting one because I actually find initially when I started with this one, I was a couple of drops of water with it. Where I am now with it is that no, I actually prefer it just straight from the bottle.
Okay, I think I'll try them both.
No, we've certainly got the water there, so. But no, it's. Get it right behind there. It's not too overpowering at that strength, though.
It is quite strong, though.
Well, it's strong, but it's not overpowering.
It's not overpowering, but it's intense. It's definitely
That's what
telling
we want
me
it to be.
I'm there.
Yeah.
And even a bit.
There's a wee bit of spiciness.
Yeah,
A wee
just
bit of
wanted to
pepper.
say that a
There's
little
wee
bit
of pepper.
pepper spiciness. It's just more of an oomph. These other ones were definitely the mild everyday drum.
Yeah.
This is a bit more of a excitement, bit of a kick, bit of a more of an explosion in there.
Yeah.
But now it fades out like the others with the Christmas cake, bit of butterscotch.
You get a real hit out of this beast. It's wanting to tell you I'm there.
Definitely at the beginning, explosion, and
yeah.
then just fades out nicely. Really.
It's actually a phenomenally good dram for again, a lot of people hang up on age. We've got our oldest cask here isn't actually our best cask. Tell it to everybody, it's still in the warehouse. So please don't always be hung up on age. There's some fantastic non-aged whiskies out there. I'm sure you'll have tried lots of them, same as everybody else.
The thing is with non-aged whiskey, you tend to not know what's in it. That's the thing. You can have a fantastic non-aged, you can have a bad non-aged.
You can, yeah, you're right. And I'm not saying that every non-aged is a fantastic whiskey by far, because there's some absolute belters out there as well. But what I'm pleased to say is, again, we know it's only ever been in a sherry cask, so we know it's there's not some really rubbish casks been thrown in here just to get rid of them. Natural colour again, so we're seeing the richness in the terms of the colour of this stuff here. So we know there's some really good quality whiskies in it. I haven't done it. I haven't actually had water in a batch for quite a wee while. So
quite a malty quite a malty experience with still that spiciness and that kick in it.
To me, the water doesn't do too much to the nose for it. It doesn't really release much more into the glass for me in a nose.
It didn't change it that much.
No.
Usually when you open a whiskey,
exactly.
It slightly changes. This is pretty similar to what I had before, and I didn't add that. I didn't add too little. It was good.
Just a few wee drops there.
Wow, nice.
We're on an exciting journey at Tamdhu, for sure. it's a brand that is going to stick to what we say we're going to do, and we're sticking with sherry. We've seen the importance around sherry casks. We've worked closely with our suppliers out in Spain. They're improving their quality, their measurements in terms of what they do in terms of the cask coopering side of things, and we very much are doing the same thing here at the distillery in terms of getting consistency to make sure we're getting the quality every time.
So you're now with the Ian McLeod, and your partner distillery is Glengoyne. How close are you to the guys at Glengoyne?
My manager Robbie is based down at Glengoyne.
Okay.
So Robbie used to work with Diageo as I did a number of years ago. Although we didn't work together at Diageo, coincidentally we worked at the same sites. So we've got a great friendship in that respect, and a lot of respect for each other. We do work closely. We use the same cask supplier, certainly for our sherry casks. Glengoyne tend to use some bourbons, or far more bourbons in some of their core range than we obviously don't do any at all at Tamdhu. However, the team all know each other. Again, we have go down there for visits. We have some of them come up here, and we obviously socialise together at Christmas time, which I've got coming up my head. So,
Nice.
so yeah, we do. And actually, when you talk about it, and I haven't told you this today, my partner, she works at Glengoyne.
Nice.
So you could actually say there's a very close relationship in some respects.
There is a close relationship, so you know all the insights.
Well, I'm not going to tell you that. But yeah,
That's
so
cool.
it's
That's
funny,
cool.
I never thought that.
That plays together with the family business.
It
huh?
certainly does, yeah.
Nice.
So I'm actually down at Glengoyne. Probably every second week, and my partner's up here every other week as well.
Okay,
So it
nice.
works out well. She's
Really
one of the
cool.
guys down here. And my daughter works at Glengoyne as well. She's
Okay.
a guide.
So it's a family
yeah,
business.
so we keep it all together.
Yeah, it's been a great experience here. So thank you very much for having us
problem.
here. I bet for the viewers it has been also great.
I hope so.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you. No, my pleasure. My
And I
pleasure
hope
to have
see
you here with
you
us today.
someday in the future. We probably will.
I hope so. Yeah, I hope so, because the brand's only going up and up and up. So
I don't
we'll
think.
see.
I think it will go really well in the future.
Slanger.
Don't you? So thank you very much for watching. If you found this video interesting, then please give us a thumbs up, and see you next time.
Thank you.